Isla isn't just a gifted child.
See you, Ned.
Many thanks to you, Isla. She's much greater than that.
Many thanks to you, Isla.
She was delivered to us on this island on the eve of the king tide.
You ready?
Many thanks to Isla.
Congrats again on the movie. It's such a unique story, The King Tide. You know, Christian, what drew you to it?
I think it was the genre aspects that really appealed to me. With genre films, you know, a lot of people show up to watch those films in theaters, and you want to make work that people get to see. And I think like a lot of the best genre films, they have more on their mind than they let on when you first watch them. When you think about Get Out or Hereditary or some of these modern genre films that do well, they're about something, you know, it's about like strained family relations, about racial relationships, but you don't think that when you're first watching them. You're too busy being entertained. And The King Tide was kind of the same thing. It's propulsive and it's moving at a great pace that keeps you entertained, but only as it continues do you realize it's about kind of deeper themes, about, you know, fanaticism and religious fundamentalism, and, you know, it's kind of an environmental parable. There's a lot you can attach to it and dig into as an audience, so that really appealed to me.
Frances, Faye has such depth to her. What was it like for you to kind of peel back that onion and discover all these different layers to that character?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the research I did really helped me to create a human being out of the facts, and researching dementia and Alzheimer's was very enlightening to me. And also understanding the politics of why these people are living on this island away from society, because the trawlers, you know, took away all the fish, you know, in the 90s, and left people to fend for themselves, and a lot of people had to be relocated, and, you know, whole towns were decimated. So these people are hanging on for dear life away from the rest of the world to live their lives in peace and harmony until something upsets it.
Christian, you're from Newfoundland. A film is shot in Newfoundland. How does Newfoundland add to the sort of magic realism of this story in King Tide?
You know, Newfoundland is a magical place. You know, there's not many places in the world quite like it. It's quite stark. The reality of living here is quite harsh, but it's also quite beautiful. That's reflected in the story. So, I mean, you know, I think the writers, when they first traveled here, then the story kind of germinated for them. It was the landscape and the magic of the place that's what set the story in motion. For me as an artist, if I can kind of capture that and share that with the rest of the world, a lot of the world, even Canada, doesn't know about Newfoundland. So if I'm able to do that, that's I'm only too happy to do so.
Frances, what was a day off for you like? What did you do to have fun and get entertained?
Oh, well, I went to the dollar store and we go grocery shopping. But also there was a couple who had an organic garden right up the road from me. And I would get a lot of their organic produce and I would cook. I love to cook. And whoever wasn't working would come over to the house and have a meal with me, and then we'd sit outside by the fire and overlook the ocean. Where I was living was beautiful. I don't know if did you ever get over there? I don't think you did.
And not for like a meal, but I know where you were. But I also know you were a cook, because I remember one day we were getting ready to shoot and I was like, where's Frances? And I turned by the trailers and Frances had a big tray of cookies and she was handing them out to everybody. And God love her, so sweet. Just like we were ready to kind of roll, and you were ready, but you were also like trying to like get ready and hand out all these cookies. It was
my giving
It was
character,
funny.
You know?
It was funny, yeah.
Yeah, our days off, you know, hiking. I had some hilarious experiences with the cast in different situations, and it was a great experience. I hope I get to come back here and work someday.
Yes, well, we would love to have you back. And that's a great thing about a place like Keels and these small town Newfoundland. There's only so many places you can go. Everyone is kind of stuck together, but it's so beautiful. You're perched on the edge of a cliff. You can be outdoors. It's It's really fun. I mean, it's cliched to say it's like a family, but it's really true with a small film in a remote place.
Yeah. We bonded.
So before I let you go, you know, films get made and then they come out in the world during a time where, you know, questions about isolationism and coming together are in our, you know, dialogue every day. What did you think the film could say on those issues?
I think the film, in many ways, is a bit of a warning call. You know, like I mentioned, it's a bit of an environmental parable. In a lot of ways, you can see Isla being a stand-in for kind of Earth and for nature itself. But it's also, you know, we live in a time where people are kind of sharply divided on a lot of different issues. And because of the internet and various factors, that's becoming increasingly so. And, you know, this film really shows the dangers of kind of like poisonous groupthink. And, you know, when you kind of, a lot of people believe in a, kind of become fanatical about what they believe in, it can be dangerous not to take an outside of opinion, and, you know, bad things can happen. And, you know, in this film, very, very bad things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a parable. What's happening in the world is, you know, this is a microcosm of that. And what can happen if you don't listen to each other and really try to find common ground.
We received a report of possible child endangerment.
Many thanks to Isla. Many thanks to Isla.